Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, 8th class. I'm your teacher, Ma'am Hadija, and I welcome you all in your next session. Today we will start chapter 2, and name of the chapter is computer hardware. First, we will go through what we have done in our last term and then overview of this term syllabus. In our first term, we did 2 chapters, chapter 1 as computer applications and chapter 4 as and name of the chapter was MS Word. Then additionally, we learned some content and we learned about InPage, which is used for typing. Some of the students did Urdu typing on keyboards, which are easily available through Play Store. In this term, we will do 2 chapters, chapter 2, computer hardware, and chapter 3, that is operating system. First, we will have some quick recap from your previous classes, some of the concepts you have learned in your class 6 and 7. You already learned that computer is composed of 2 components, that is computer hardware and computer software. What is computer hardware? Computer hardware are the physical components or the components which we can touch or we can hold in our hands, and these components are used to give instructions to the computer. On the other hand, softwares are set of programs which are used to give instructions or to give instruction to the computer hardware to execute them. Right. Then computer hardware and software is further divided into their types. Like computer hardware is divided into input devices, output devices, storage devices, and processing devices. You have already learned about input and output devices in your previous classes. Input devices, like one of the example is keyboard. Output devices, one of the basic output devices, monitor. Then storage devices, example is hard disk. Processing devices like CPU or central processing unit. In this term, we will discuss about storage and processing devices. Then computer software is also divided into 2 types, that is system software and application software. सिस्टम सॉफ्टवेयर की एग्जांपल क्या है? विंडोज, जैसे हमारे कंप्यूटर्स में या लैपटॉप्स में होता है, और एंड्रॉयड जो हमारे मोबाइल्स में मस्ट चाहिए होता है हमारे सिस्टम को वर्क करने के लिए, हमारे डिवाइस को रन करने के लिए. देन एप्लीकेशन सॉफ्टवेयर्स, जिनकी डेफिनेशन क्लासेस में पढ़ चुके हैं. द सॉफ्टवेयर विच आर यूज्ड फॉर स्पेसिफिक purpose are called application software. An example can be MS Office and this PowerPoint software, जिसको यूज पावर पॉइंट प्रेजेंटेशन बना रही हूँ. एंड एंटीवायरस भी इसके अंदर आते हैं. इसके अलावा बहुत सारे ग्राफिक सॉफ्टवेयर्स जो पिक्चर्स को एडिट करने के लिए यूज हो रहे होते हैं. Right. Shortly we discuss your previous concept. First concept is input devices, the devices which are used to enter data or to communicate with the computer are called input devices. Examples of basic input device which are compulsory for the computer are keyboard and mouse, and microphone to give input in the form of sound or voice, then trackpad which work as mouse but attached with the laptop, and trackball which is alternative of mouse as well. Then if we discuss about more input devices you learn in your class 7, can be scanner, which are used to scan printout form or documents and to transfer into your computer, and joystick, which is used with games, and barcode readers, which is also input device, and normally you have seen this in shopping centers to read the barcode written on products. To enter the price of the product into the computer. Then there's light pen, which is normally used with touch screen devices like mobile or tab. And you also learn about touch screen as input and as output device as well. Next topic or concept you learned in your previous classes was output devices, devices which are used to take results from the computer, or we can say which provide us information after processing into human readable form, are called output devices. Normally, there are two types of output that we can get from the computer. One is called soft copy output, the output which is taken in the form of sound, like from speakers, or the output which is displayed on the monitor is called soft copy output. On the other hand, hard copy output is another form, which is usually in the printed form or on the page or sheet, and these output are taken from plotters or printers, and we have discussed it in your previous class as well. Basic output device which is must attached with the system is monitor, and there are different types of monitor that can be attached with the computer. One most common form is LCD monitors. And other output device which is commonly used are printers, and they are used to take printouts, or we can take the hard copy output from these devices. And there are a variety of printers which are available, and commonly used printers are laser jet, और उससे पहले inkjet और inkjet printers अभी भी अपनी low cost प्रिंटिंग की वजह से यूज हो रहे हैं डिफरेंट डिपार्टमेंट्स के अंदर. इसके अलावा शॉपिंग सेंटर्स के अंदर बिल्स को प्रिंट आउट करने के लिए यूज हो रहे होते हैं थर्मल प्रिंटर्स. Then last output device that you have learned in your previous class was plotters. Plotters किस लिए यूज हो रहे होते हैं कि जब आपने लार्ज साइज प्रिंट आउट्स लेनी हो, जैसे ड्राइंग्स होती हैं बिल्डिंग्स की, डिफरेंट मशीन्स के या एरोप्लेन्स के, या इस तरह की आर्किटेक्चरल ड्राइंग्स होती हैं, घर के मैप्स हो सकते हैं. उसके अलावा जो आपके पैनाफ्लेक्स बनते हैं, अगर आपने उस तरह की ड्राइंग्स के प्रिंट आउट लेने हैं तो ये नॉर्मल प्रिंटर से अब पॉसिबल नहीं होता. फॉर दिस यू यूज प्लॉटर्स. ठीक है. एंड देयर आर टू टाइप्स ऑफ प्लॉटर्स. एक वो प्लॉटर्स जो फ्लैट बेड कराते हैं, और सेकेंडली जो ड्रम प्लॉटर्स होते हैं जो नॉर्मली पैनाफ्लेक्स या बड़ी शीट के ऊपर प्लॉट करने के लिए यूज हो रहे हैं. Then another example of output devices are speakers. Speakers are used to play sounds through computer or laptops, and they are commonly used for listening song or watching during movies, and otherwise to play any type of sound or music through computer. Nowadays, wireless speakers are also always available. You can watch a variety of wireless speakers on the internet by searching. So what is in today's lecture, and what is included as computer hardware in your 8th class chapter? We will learn two concepts. One is processing device. Processing devices are those devices which are used to process data or to execute. We will discuss central processing unit or CPU as processing device. And then in another session, we will discuss about storage devices. And storage devices are those devices or those computer hardware which are used to store data either temporarily or either permanent way. And we can store data inside computer like in RAM or hard disk, and we can also store data from computer on other storage device like CD, USB, and other devices are also used as external devices, जिनको कहा जाता है जिसके ऊपर हम कंप्यूटर से डेटा स्टोर कर सकते हैं कहीं अगर हमने लेके जाना. इसको हम डिस्कस करेंगे अपनी नेक्स्ट जो लेक्चर होगा उसमें. Today our main topic is central processing unit, which is also called processor or microprocessor, and actually it is also brain of the computer. Why it is called brain of the computer? As it perform all the activities that brain does in our mind. If we look into the structure of the CPU CPU is a small chip. You have learned the concept of ICs or integrated circuits. ICs का concept क्या होता है कि जब बहुत सारे components जो circuit बनाने के लिए चाहिए होते हैं, हम उसको बेस के ऊपर या किसी मीडियम के ऊपर इंटीग्रेट कर देते हैं, देन दे आर कॉल्ड इंटीग्रेटेड सर्किट्स। और इसमें बहुत सारे कंपोनेंट्स होते हैं लाइक ट्रांजिस्टर्स, रेजिस्टर्स, डायोड्स एंड वायर्स, और इस तरह के बहुत सारे कंपोनेंट्स मिलके एक सर्किट बना रहे होते हैं। जैसे हमारे घर में स्विच बोर्ड्स होते हैं, वो भी एक सर्किट है, but I'm talking about integrated circuit which are used inside the computer, and these integrated circuit can be used as central processing unit or can be used as storage। जैसे जो RAM इंटीग्रेटेड सर्किट होता है वो डेटा स्टोरेज के लिए, या रोम भी डेटा स्टोरेज के लिए यूज हो रहा होता है। बट वन ऑफ सच इंटीग्रेटेड सर्किट विच इज यूज टू प्रोसेस डेटा is called microprocessor और CPU, और shortly हम इसको processor भी कहते हैं। It is a small chip which is placed inside the computer in a socket and it is called CPU socket। and यहाँ तो थोड़ा सा आपको zoom करके दिखाई गई, otherwise it is of nowadays 1 square inch chip, that's why it is called a microprocessor, it is a small processor। और जो आपकी और बहुत सारे डिजिटल डिवाइसेस हैं, इनके अंदर जो है वो माइक्रो साइज की जो है इस तरह की चिप्स लगाई जाती हैं, और इस तरह की डिवाइसेस हम नेक्स्ट में भी डिस्कस करेंगे। अदरवाइज दिस इज अ 1 स्क्वायर इंच chip which is placed inside the computer or inside the laptop to process data। If we talk about the importance of CPU as important for the computer as brain to us। Brain क्या करता है आपके mind में? It helps you to take decisions, it helps you to recall your memory, and some of the parts of your brain help you to sense different smells or sense of temperature. It gives you sense of movement as well. So we can say all the activities which are happening in your body all controlled by your brain, or actually brain decide everything in your body. Such like brain in our body, CPU like truly brain of the computer. It controls and coordinates all the activities which are happening inside the computer, or the instructions which be given to the computer. It is decided by the CPU which data will be processed first and which data will be processed next, and how data will be processed, and on which hardware component the data will be processed. It is all decided by the CPU. So in this way, CPU acts like the brain of the computer. Another importance of CPU is that nowadays CPU are used in other digital devices to control them automatically, like digital cameras, like washing machines, इसके अलावा आपकी automobiles इसकी example हैं, इसके अलावा watches आजकल हैं, क्लासेस आजकल ऐसे हैं कि जो कंप्यूटर को इंस्ट्रक्शंस देने के लिए यूज हो रहे होते हैं। सो ऑल द मैनी डिजिटल डिवाइसेस हैविंग माइक्रोप्रोसेसर स्मॉल चिप्स placed inside these devices, and in some devices they are just act as microcontroller, वो थोड़े से specific purpose होते हैं, but in some devices they act as general purpose। जैसे हमारे कंप्यूटर के अंदर जो माइक्रोप्रोसेसर होता है वो as general purpose device यूज हो रहा है कि वो बहुत सारे functions जो है परफॉर्म कर सकता है, सिर्फ एक specific purpose परफॉर्म नहीं कर सकता। ठीक है। another important feature of CPU is their function, कि करता क्या है actually CPU। First thing that is we consider as function of CPU, that it reads instruction from the computer memory, or it reads instruction that are given to the computer through input devices, and then it carries out these instruction, means उनको then वो execute करता है, और ये instructions हम इसको दे रहे होते हैं in the form of programs। ठीक है, हम already पढ़ चुके हैं कि programs क्या है, set of instructions होती हैं। ठीक है, और इसके अलावा CPU क्या करता है, जितनी भी कैलकुलेशंस हो रही होती हैं कंप्यूटर के अंदर, आइदर दे आर अर्थमेटिक कैलकुलेशंस लाइक एडिशन, सब्ट्रैक्शन, मल्टीप्लिकेशन, और आइदर दे आर लॉजिकल और रिलेशनल कैलकुलेशंस लाइक कंपेयर करना दो नंबर्स को, ग्रेटर देन, लेस देन, ग्रेटर देन इक्वल टू, लेस देन इक्वल टू, इस तरह की तमाम कैलकुलेशंस आर परफॉर्म्ड बाय द CPU. और इसके अलावा जस्ट लाइक ब्रेन इन आवर बॉडी, इट डिसाइड्स which instruction will be executed and how the instruction will be executed. Second important function of CPU is that it is responsible for storing data which is given through input devices or storage devices. और इसके अलावा अगर हमें वो डेटा वापस चाहिए और हमें उसको यूज करना है या वापस हमें CD या USB के अंदर ट्रांसफर करना है, it is all decided by and controlled by the CPU. Another feature or another function of CPU, it's that it flow जो data का flow होता है through input devices towards motherboard or towards computer, and from motherboard towards output devices, it is all handled by or controlled by the CPU. इसके अलावा हमारा डेटा प्रोसेस होने के लिए CPU के अंदर यूनिट्स के अंदर भी जाता है, जो हम नेक्स्ट डिस्कस करेंगे CPU के यूनिट्स क्या हैं, वो भी जो फ्लो ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शन या फ्लो ऑफ डेटा है, इट इज ऑल हैंडल एंड कंट्रोल्ड बाय द CPU. और इस तरह से ये कोऑर्डिनेट करता है इनपुट डिवाइसेस से भी, आउटपुट डिवाइसेस से भी और स्टोरेज डिवाइसेस से भी डेटा के सही फ्लो के लिए. That's all from today's topic. I hope आपको समझ आया होगा. It is very simple and very short topic that we have discussed with a recap from your previous learning. After learning this topic, what you are going to do is you are going to read content and you will underline important points that are given related to this topic, and you will also mark the contents through which you can make MCQs. And third, you are going to do first question from activity corner, in which you will have to describe importance and functions of CPU. आप इस presentation से भी help ले सकते हो, और आपकी book के अंदर भी content है, और आप internet से search करके भी points की form में CPU की importance और उसके functions लिख सकते हो. I hope you have got my instructions. See you next time. Take care and Allah Hafiz.